Welcome again to Beyond the Ballpark from Hurrdat 1. I'm Christina with a guide to Omaha. This time, something that is particularly relevant with the Men's College World Series season officially upon us in Omaha. And we're talking about sports bars this time, places that perhaps you've been to the game or you'd like to watch baseball in the comfort of some air conditioning with some food and bar service. Again, here with important recommendations on this matter is Dan Hoppin from Restaurant Hoppin, also on the Hurrdat 1 network. Dan, thank you again for lending your knowledge and expertise to another important conversation, especially because in Omaha we take great pride in our food scene.
My pleasure to be here. Any opportunity I get to talk about food in Omaha, I take it.
It so happens that you're very good at it too. So that's,
I try.
You've done the research to be able to earn that title too. But when we're talking about sports bars, you made a really good point about this, which is the way that you qualify what is the best of the best when thinking about these establishments. So give us your checklist of parameters that you're thinking about when you're saying this is a sports bar worth visiting.
So I would say probably the most important thing when we're talking about sports bars specifically is great TV setup.
Yeah.
Because you want to be able to see multiple games. You want to know what's going on and not have to crane your neck or ask somebody to change a channel. You are just covered. When you walk in, you know you're going to get the games that you want fully displayed. Another thing, I think that there should be good food at least. At least an effort. Don't just serve me like nachos with like pump cheese. There's a time and a place for that.
Absolutely.
But like if I'm going to go to a sports bar and hang out for a couple hours, I want to have some good food, some cold beer, some good drinks.
Yeah.
But then there's also just like, there's kind of like that undefinable quality where you just like, it's such a cliche to like bring up Cheers, but you just kind of like, even if it's your first time there, you're just like, oh man, this is my place. I feel like I'm home.
Yeah, it's a cliche for a reason because it's a place that keeps you coming back too.
Right.
And especially when there are so many to choose from in Omaha, being able to identify the ones that, you feel comfy in, and if you're watching a game, you may be a couple meals deep too. So having a variety of options to order could be a really important part of. We all know baseball games go very long, so you may be there for lunch and dinner if you're watching the whole game.
Sure.
Yeah.
Or you just want to share a bunch of apps with, you travel to Omaha with 6 or 7 people and you guys are sharing an Airbnb and you just want to hang out and share some wings and tachos and a bunch of, things like that. That's a great option, too.
I'm so glad you said tachos because they are having a moment, and I think it is
they should have
well
a moment,
deserved.
Yes.
It's beyond time for their moment. So, Dan, when you're giving recommendations, or if you're thinking about some of the best sports bars that we have in our city, where are you sending people to, or where are you spending time at?
So I'm going to start with some places in the downtown Old Market area because obviously that's where the College World Series is held. So
near the
people,
ballpark.
Are going to be spending some time down there. Maybe they have a hotel down there. First place I want to shout out is Omaha Tap House. It's just a very casual place. They've got very good drinks. They have a signature Bloody Mary line. But I want to shout them out for their burgers specifically.
Yeah.
Like, low-key, some of the better burgers in Omaha. They just really spend their time. It's handcrafted patties. They put some time and intentionality into it, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, especially when they're serving a lot of people and quick. And if they can still do it well, then they're really doing something special there.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think somewhere that anyone who's spent any amount of time in Omaha has heard of is The Mat, previously known as the Old Mattress Factory. And what I love about The Mat is they fully embrace the College World Series. So they're like one of the party central spots. They've got TVs everywhere. They are committed to baseball. Like if there's anything related to the College World Series going on, it's going to be on those TVs. They've just got classic bar food. They've got party rooms that you can rent if you want to do that. And then they've got live music and DJs. I mean, The Mat just embraces, like, when the CWS comes to town, we are all about the CWS.
100%. And what's funny is if you came to Omaha any time of year, you may not almost recognize The Mat because they have a wonderful operation year-round. They're obviously very busy during events at the CHI Health Center, Creighton basketball games, concerts. But really during the Men's College World Series, to your point, is they take over almost an entire city block with their entertainment options, still serving good food, still with great drinks that you can get quickly, or you can get something more crafty. They have a real system and a method behind their madness that makes that entire area feel really alive during the entirety of the series.
Yeah, so you can kind of have whatever experience you want there. If you want to go and just watch games and have a good meal, you can do that. And if you want to party, hang out outside.
Yeah.
Get some drinks, enjoy some live music, and party the night away.
And outdoor TVs, I love an outdoor TV. I'm like, what's a better combination of things? I can see the game and I'm in the shade and have access to the bar right there. I mean, they've really thought about the overflow crowd, you know. Of course, the ballpark packs in with people, 24,000 plus during those busy game days. But if you are already in the area and if you can't get in, well, the mat is ready and waiting for you too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and those are great options immediately within the ballpark vicinity too. But I know there's a couple more that you really like down there as well.
So there's one that has risen to prominence, especially in the last couple years, and it is a dive bar, but it's made a name for itself with its Jello shot challenge. That's Rocco's Pizzeria and Cantina. I mean, it's a solid sports bar even without the gimmick. We'll call it what it is. But they have 24 craft pizzas on their menu. They do a good job, but they especially turn up during the College World Series because they offer Jello shots for each team. And so the fans from the team come in, they order a Jello shot, and then that goes towards a tally, and they keep a scoreboard over which fan base is winning. I mean, you go back and look at some of the numbers, like in 2023, they sold more than 95,000 Jello shots.
That's a lot of Jello. Yeah.
It's insane. And they actually have a Twitter account solely for the Jello shot challenge where you can follow daily and see what teams are doing really well. But what's cool about it is it's not just about like, oh, Jello shots like college, you know, that type of thing. They're actually donating $1 from every one of those Jello shots to Food Bank for the Heartland, or a local food insecurities establishment for each college. So if somebody from, let's just say, LSU goes in and buys a Jello shot, there will be a Louisiana food bank that gets that $1 from the sale of the Jello shot. So, yeah, it's kind of fun to just go in and, like, say, yeah, we're going to win this Jello shot challenge, but also you know that when you're buying those, some of that money is coming back to the community.
Yeah, no, and that is such a special effort that they put together too, because to your point, it's the spirit of the College World Series. Everybody's having a nice time and tailgating. But to be able to do that thing that we do so well in Omaha, which is think about giving back or leaving a more lasting impact, they've certainly found a way to do that too, and to make it fun. And I want to say even in 2024, Tennessee maybe broke the record for how many Jello shots were sold, because the Vols had a heck of a season last year. So they sold a lot of orange Jello shots with the intention of, not only setting a record, but being able to give back to both of those communities in a way that is so important. So, and Rocco's also has great atmosphere, a wonderful patio too. It gets a little hopping at night, I'll say, but it's a great excuse to go visit that spot anytime.
And this is a place in the podcast where I want to clear out, and I want to let you cook a little bit, because you said that you had some great recommendations for dive bars, verging a little bit off of the sports bar theme.
Yeah.
So maybe there's not, TVs everywhere where it's like dedicated to sports, but like Rocco's is an incredible sports bar. Where are some other great sports bars? Rocco's is an incredible dive bar. Where are some other dive bars around Omaha that people should definitely be investing in?
Yeah, we talked about this before too, where you hate to give up some of your favorite spots because you're worried too many people are going to find out about it, and
but
then
you can't gatekeep.
I know,
Gotta
and
let people in.
You tell me this, Dan, and I'm trying to remember that, but I also like to be able to find my regular seat at the bar.
I understand.
Down in the ballpark area, I have to mention the Trap Room. This has been a favorite spot of mine, and my friends who work downtown for years. They have an incredible cocktail selection, also a wonderful patio that gives you a view of the ballpark. Jackie, the owner, has a couple TVs on the wall too, but really you're there for the experience. You're there for the comfortability of it, and just the way that being in North Downtown is filled with energy. It's lovely to be able to walk into Trap Room and find a chair and feel right at home. So that's a great dive spot, I'd say, that also is in the North Downtown area. But there are many great dive bars in Omaha, too, that I'll be happy to give my recommendations on as we go through our list of sports bars in that area, too. But what else, if people are around the ballpark, Dan, is there any other spots that you'd recommend that they visit to be able to either have atmosphere, watch the game, or get a little food?
One other sports bar that I want to shout out before we leave the downtown area is Blatt Beer and Table. And what's really cool about this place is they're located right across the street from the stadium, and they've got like a ground floor, but then they've also got a second floor with a open air patio.
Yeah, that patio is great.
So you go out on that patio, you can almost like see into the ballpark. Like it's so close and so intimate. So like you can not be at the game, but kind of feel like you're at the game. So that's really neat. They've got a great TV setup. They've got fans up there. So like it never gets too warm or steamy.
Yeah.
And this is a place that I will stump for on the food. They're a part of the flagship restaurant group, which, I mean, you talk about Memoir, Clio, Blue Sushi, a lot of people's favorite restaurants in Omaha are a part of this group, and that same food quality is at Blatt, just kind of in more familiar form. So if you want a Philly cheesesteak or a fried chicken sandwich or a great burger or a patty melt, things like that, you can go to Blatt and know that you're going to get an excellent example of those. Yeah,
I agree. And they even do a wonderful job of, as most places do during event days, kind of boil down their menu a little bit to make things more quicker, more accessible. And they also deliver on those items every time too, which is amazing to see the amount of people that they serve, the way crowds turn over there. They're still delivering an excellent meal every single time you eat there. So on that note, I have an important question for you. What is the superior French fry, would you say? Is it shoestring? Is it waffle fry? Is it a steak fry? I mean, because you've named places that I think the variety of French fries is available. So what is the best type of French fry?
So I think it depends on, oh man, if you...
Have I actually stumped Dan Hoppen? This feels...
No,
you're like, no, you didn't.
I'm just thinking about it. So I'm a big dip guy.
Okay.
I like to be able to...
An important consideration,
dip into different mustards or sauces. And if I'm dipping, then I would definitely say a waffle fry, because that's got the most surface area. That's going to allow you swipe it through whatever sauce that you're putting it in, and it's got all those crevices and crannies. That's going to do it for you. Honestly... Other than that, I do like... I would need to give some more thought to this. Okay. I like a more... I'm not really a shoestring guy. I like a fry that actually has some potato to it, but is fried very crispy, like Beershin Beer Garden and that's a restaurant that we might get to soon.
Yeah.
They've got beer-battered fries that are probably among my favorite in Omaha, and they're just super crispy, but also just have that like real creamy inside potato feel to them. So I think that would be my answer.
That's a good one too. Unfortunately, you are incorrect. The correct answer is crinkle fry. Okay, next question.
Most people agree with you, and I love a good crinkle fry. Don't get me wrong.
Yes. No, in my world, there are no bad French fries, so I obviously co-sign.
This is true.
All of these recommendations. So let's say we're looking to get outside of the downtown area as well. We have some great options throughout the city, also that are wonderful sports bars, that TVs, food, all good. If someone's okay with a drive or an Uber, where else should they visit if they're trying to catch the game, but in the comfort of some air conditioning?
Yes. So first one I have to give a shout out to is Barrett's Barley Corn.
Oh,
it's just
great. And also pretty divey,
It is very much a dive bar, but the food they serve there, I don't know how they do it, because their kitchen is legitimately like the size of a closet. Like it's so tiny, but the Reuben that they serve there, the Philly cheesesteaks, the burgers, everything on the menu just hits. Like, that's a place where, yes, they have a great TV setup. Yes, they know how to party, and they serve some incredible Irish beers. But I would just go there to eat because the food is so good. Plus, they've kind of become the unofficial LSU bar. So if you're at all an LSU fan or you're cheering on the Tigers, that's a great place to go. But I also want to give some love to the place where we're actually sitting right now.
Yeah.
And that's Hurrdat Sports Bar. This might not be like the most raucous atmosphere. I would say this is your real family-friendly sports bar.
Yeah.
I mean, it has TVs everywhere. There is going to be every single game, not just College World Series, but Major League Baseball, the NBA playoffs, really just anything that's going on. You're going to have a TV that has that. Very solid food coming out of the kitchen, and a little bit more of a quiet atmosphere. Like I said, this is a place where, and again, dive bars are amazing.
Yeah.
You're maybe not going to take the wife and kids there if you're coming as a family.
Totally.
Hurrdat Sports Bar is perfect for that. You can bring the whole family here. Everybody will have something on the menu that they like. It's a little bit more quiet. The kids can be themselves. That's a very important niche that I think Hurrdat Sports Bar helps fill.
I agree. Yeah, especially when we're looking at both ends of the spectrum, right? Some people want the atmosphere that we've described at like the Mat or at Barrett's. It is nice to have kind of a counterbalance of a place where you know you're going to find a seat, you're going to be comfy, the food's going to be good, and there's going to be routine bar service with lots of TVs. So it's important to have kind of both sides of the spectrum to be able to consider too. But you also mentioned a place that I'd like to go back to because I agree that Bar Chen has a lovely atmosphere too, a great patio, which is something we think about a lot in Omaha, and is, I think you said, one of the spots that a person, if they're looking for a sports bar atmosphere, should visit.
Yeah, Bearshin is a wonderful restaurant in the Benson neighborhood. They've got a bunch of TVs, great setup. But what really makes that place special, and you mentioned it, is that back beer garden that they have.
It's great. Yeah.
Such a unique patio. I mean, it's fenced in, so you feel like you're just completely separate from everything around you. They've got picnic tables set up. They've got umbrellas to keep you shaded. And then, you just walk up to the bar, and you have you've got all the beers that you expect, and then they've got a bunch of German beers too. So if you want to try something different, there's an opportunity to do that as well. And their food is great. I would put their Nashville hot chicken sandwich up with just about any in Omaha. I love Bearshin. Great place to go watch a game. Yeah,
there is something really interesting too about the availability of the selection that they have there. I know it is intended to be a German bar, but the selection that they offer is something that you don't see a lot of other places too. So not only can you have a sports bar type experience, but a really unique one as well, if that's the spot that you decide to go and crash for a couple games. Bearshin does a wonderful job. And also, if it puts you in the Benson neighborhood, there's lots of great dive bars in the entirety of that space too. It's very walkable, so you really can't go wrong when you find yourself in Benson. Of course, if you're looking for tacos, Taco Co is across the street. Beercade is also right there, which is a good place to play pinball and
just walk by Virtuoso. They've got, I believe, I could be wrong in this, but it's the only one that I can think of, the only by the slice counter. So you don't even have to go into Virtuoso. You can just walk by, order a slice off the street, and just keep walking.
Keep strolling.
And it's, in my opinion, the best pizza in Omaha. So it's a good place to do that.
Amazing. Yeah, and spending any time in Benson is wonderful for a visitor, too, because there's music in the streets, there's people everywhere, but also it's really easy to stumble into a joint and find a drink, too. So Benson, I think, is a treasure when it comes to our food restaurant bar scene. So if someone is willing to go a little further west then too, Dan, because it seems like when people either come to Omaha for the College World Series or if they live in different parts of the city, what recommendations do you have for a little further west for someone who maybe, again, looking for a sports bar that they'd like to go visit?
Well, a place that is extremely popular is Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill. They have, again, I'll keep saying it, for a great sports bar has to have a great TV setup,
Yep.
and they have TVs everywhere, just a very comfortable, cozy place. But what they're famous for is their wings, and they do have fantastic wings.
Yeah.
They offer char-buffed wings, so what they'll do is they'll grill their wings first to kind of like impart that real. Well, actually, let me reverse that. They fry the wings to give them that nice crispiness. Then they sauce them up, and then they finish them on the grill, which gives them that real nice,
what a process,
smoky, like charred taste. So it's like you're getting a fried chicken wing and a grilled chicken leg, like kind of in the same food device, which is amazing.
A true process behind that, too. It sounds like it doesn't happen easily, but still a place that you can count on getting quick food that is delicious, even with the really specific process that they go through to make that happen. On the subject of wings, I would be remiss if I didn't mention the place that marries wings and dive bars, in my opinion, which is Trax. Located in Midtown Omaha, also a really special spot, has been there for a long time, and has a patio that is always busy, robust with people who are enjoying the atmosphere and enjoying the food. Surely you've had Trax wings, too.
Oh, Trax, if they're not the best wings in Omaha, they would probably be, I can think of one other place, it would be 1A, 1B. Incredible wings, and again, they do kind of the same process that Oscar's does, where you can get them char-buffed, so you can get them finished on the grill, which I think just locks in that flavor, again, adds that smokiness. But it's something that we talked about, like, the place where you just go in and you just feel like, oh, I've been here before, even if you haven't been there. Trax is one of those places. It's small, it's intimate. You're going to be like knocking elbows with the person next to you, but in a way that is enjoyable.
You're all having a nice time at
Yes.
Trax. Yeah.
And again, it's a place that has a tiny little kitchen that should not be able to create great food, and they create amazing food between the wings and the fried chicken. It's just wonderful.
Yeah, and their patio also does have a couple TVs, so if you happen to find yourself in the area but still want to catch a game, you'll still have the opportunity to do so sitting outside at Trax, which has a little more space than their indoor dining experience, but you don't want to lose the spirit of Trax, which is to be, shoulder to shoulder with strangers or your friends as you're housing wings or knocking back cocktails, and a great place that you can still find a reasonably priced cocktail in Omaha, too. I have to tell a funny story about Trax.
Please do.
Which is that, so the patio is a wonderful place to spend time, but when you're sitting out there, if somebody orders, and I can't remember the name of it now, the spiciest wing on the menu, it's like a habanero something or another, the air fills with that habanero seasoning, and so then you end up coughing a little bit as the spice
You all share in
takes
that
over your
experience
sinuses.
together.
Yeah, and you're like, oh, somebody got the spicy wings. And so the patio clears out for a little bit, but not for long, because once you get a spot on the Trax patio, you don't want to let it go.
No, you don't give that up.
You spend many hours.
That's valuable real estate.
Yeah. And since we're talking about dive bars, too, other places that I love in Midtown include Neighbors. That's one that's right across from Barrett's, too. So let's say you're on Leavenworth Street and the LSU fans have effectively taken over Barrett's. You can stumble across the street and go down to Neighbors, which is a great spot with TVs, too. No food there, but plenty of cocktails to choose from. And if you go a little bit further down as well, that's where the Leavenworth bar is at. So we've talked previously about spots that you drive by that look kind of unassuming in Omaha, but are absolutely worth the visit, because when you walk in there, it feels like you've been there 100 times. The bartenders are friendly, even if they've been working since 7 a.m., like at Neighbors, which opens bright and early.
Really?
Yeah.
Open early, a bar.
Very early.
Okay, well,
and I think it's because they've historically been, they're right by Nebraska Medicine.
There you go.
They're kind of the spot where the third shifters seem to find themselves when, you know, their version of happy hour is probably around 7 a.m., which, you know, you got to You got to find the opportunity where you can.
So if you want to get your day started early, if you want some Bloody Marys or something to get you going, that's the place to go, I guess.
Right, and what better time during the Men's College World Series?
Right,
you know?
Yeah, you're on vacation. Live it up.
Neighbors is a great spot to do that. Also, the Poop Deck is over on 60th and Grover. Last I checked, that was cash only, but I don't know if that's still the case. So if you have some cash in your pocket and you're looking also for a place in Omaha that has some storied experience as a dive bar, that's one that I often send people to as well. Dan, do you have any dive bars that you love?
You know, I don't have a ton of experience in dive bars. I mean, there are a couple around Omaha, but again, I'm more focused on the food side of things.
You're looking for food.
I guess one that I'll shout out that is kind of a little bit more west is Rookies.
Oh, yeah. Rookies is good.
Yeah, they have excellent food, great TV setup, just real low-key, simple, nothing fancy about it, but you're just going to go and have a good time.
Yeah, and that does seem to be the real root of the dive bar experience is that you know you're comfy, you know the cocktails are come quick, and that it's the spot that you and your friends can go and happen upon the same table every single time. Mm-hmm. We also have great loungy bars in Omaha, like the Green Onion and the VIP, both places that you might drive by and aren't sure if you should check it out. And we say that you absolutely should, because you're not going to have a bad time at any of these spots that we recommended to. Dan, I'd ask you, so kind of in the spirit of, quick food, maybe with your family, if you have $10, say, to spend on a meal, what is the place that you recommend that someone goes in order to make the most of that budget?
Block 16, downtown Omaha. Okay. I mean, maybe $10 is going to be pushing it, but if you just want a sandwich or a burger, you're going to get it for maybe $12, $13 there, but you're going to be getting the highest quality of a burger or a sandwich that you're going to find in Omaha. Yeah. That's my number one recommendation with the Bullet.
Yeah. And maybe it's $12 instead of a $10 meal. But, it's still a place that can be very accessible to families. If it's over the lunch hour or dinner, I think their hours kind of vary. So important to know that going in. But, when we think about spending a whole week in Omaha, sometimes it's nice to have a budget in mind and to say that this is the best place that we think a person should go to be able to enjoy that too. Dan, is there any other place that you'd recommend for people in Omaha to go watch a game or two?
One last sports bar that I want to give a shout out to, that's Backlot Tap House. It's in the Exarban neighborhood, and they've got, I think it's 29 taps, most of which are dedicated to local beers or beers from Lincoln. They're from here. But they were the first restaurant to bring Detroit-style pizza to Omaha.
Okay,
so
sure.
Detroit-style is a little bit thicker dough. It's very fluffy and airy and oily, kind of like a focaccia bread. But what makes these pizzas great is Detroit-style features, it's cooked in a pan, and this Wisconsin brick cheese is pushed up around the edges of it. So when it comes out of the pan, there's just this crispy cheese crown.
Oh, yeah.
That, like, you bite into it and you can hear the crunch from, like, across the room. People just noshing on their pizza corners. It's very, very good. They've got a great TV setup. I would send anyone to Backlot Tap House without a doubt.
Yeah. And you said lots of beers on taps, too. I find this happens at a lot of restaurants around Omaha, too, where we talked about with Barchen and others, that the variety seems to be really superior. I'll go to other places in other cities where nothing on the menu tap-wise jumps out at me. I don't know if it's just the intentionality with the way that some of these folks are thinking about how they put different things on tap. But, I mean, is that also your experience, too, that when you go into a restaurant, especially one that's, sure, they're focused on pizza and beer, but you're going to have a little bit of a twist or a special experience based on just the thought that goes behind some of those decisions?
Yeah, well, I think Omaha and Lincoln, too, honestly, have a great craft beer scene, a little bit underrated. So these restaurants have great local places to pull from. They're not having to go super far to find great beers, but they're
That's
here.
a good point. Yeah.
And I think as a restaurant, you want to be able to serve every customer. You got to know that there's going to be people that come in, they're just going to want a Miller Lite. And then there's going to be the hipsters that want their super hoppy IPAs.
Yeah.
And then there's going to be somebody who just wants a really heavy Pilsner. Like, there are going to be, everyone's looking for something different when it comes to beers. And the more variety that you can offer and the more people that you can speak to and serve what they want, the better it's going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And beer is certainly something that we are thinking about during a hot Men's College World Series.
Yes.
Game day, game week. So there are lots of great options around Omaha. And thank you so much, Dan, for your expertise in finding these, recommending them, of course, doing the important legwork of sampling the fare
Eating
each of
and
them.
drinking, yeah.
Yes, I know. And you know what? Someone has to do it. So thank goodness
This is
for
the
you.
burden I have to bear.
Thank you. Thank you, Dan. Dan of Restaurant Hoppin', also on the Hurrdat One Network. So be sure to tune in to all the different ventures that Dan goes on, themes, food, everything in Omaha that is to be sampled or explored. Dan's on the case. So thanks for your expertise on this matter, too. And keep following Hurrdat One's Beyond the Ballpark content. We'll keep providing more tips, tricks, and insight for this year's Men's College World Series.